do this. I so I went out because I thought I didn't have like you know, the writing for writing over here.
Oh, the markers.
The markers. So I'm gonna just use whatever I have, cause whatever here. I'll get something later. Man, I had thought about this channel. I bought all these things to make this channel long time ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey guys, so today we are talking about the attachment theory of love. Oh my goodness. If you don't have love, today is your chance to figure it out.
Why don't you have love this year?
Why do you not have love in your life? What's happening to you? You know, today we are talking about it. We are attacking world problems. We are attacking world problems. Like, if you don't have love, it's not something to be ashamed of. You know, because sometimes we don't know why, you know.
Yeah. You know what I notice a lot actually? How some people, especially some women, will say they can't keep a man or they can't get one.
Can't keep a man, can't get one.
And it's like, when I think of that statement, it sounds like they're trying to hold on to something way too hard.
Oh, yes.
That kind of sounds like they're a little bit anxious, doesn't it? Can't keep something?
You can't keep it.
So, of course, there's like a little bit of anxiety involved in that statement.
Is a man something to be kept?
Exactly.
That's a good question, though, right? Is a man something to be kept? And even for men, a lot of men are single, and it's gotten to the point where they're like probably angry. Hi, Raf.
Hey.
Hey, where's Kami? Hi, Kami. That's the Kami Sparks. Yeah, welcome. A lot of men are looking for love in their relationship, and today we have a surprise for you guys. So you better stay and realize why we have this board right here. It's empty. It's going to be full because we are going to.
Yep.
We're going to break it down. Why you can find love, why you're single. 2025 people are going to just get love.
Yeah, people are looking for relationships this year. And if you haven't had one or you're looking for one, you're going to find out why. You know, it's so common for people when they're traveling to have like travel romances.
Travel romance. Ooh, wee.
Yes, it's so common. But
How
the
long
funny
do they
thing,
last?
They're short, they're intense, they burn out quickly because travelers, they want to do their own thing.
We don't want those.
No.
We don't want those.
They're very avoidant of long-term commitment.
Oh, we don't want men who don't want long-term commitment. We want people who want to have love and keep it. Because today we are going to break it down with this theory here, the attachment theory of love. This is the number one theory. You will know and figure out where you can find love. Straight up. Straight up.
And then after you find it, how do you hold on to it? How do you nurture it?
Yeah.
And do you ever do weird things in a relationship? Like, has there ever been a time where you're like, man, this person just told me I like them, but I'm kind of nervous, so I'm going to stop texting them?
Yeah. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, should I text them back?
Yeah.
Did I get ghosted? Are they ghosting me? Are they truly ghosting me?
Are you someone who thinks about a text 50 times before you send it?
Yeah.
I do, actually. Hi Everly. Thanks for joining in.
Hi, hello, welcome to our live stream. Today we are talking about love. You know, I was of those anxious people when I was falling in love.
Aww.
You know, I'm like, did I do something? Are they going to text me back? Did they just fall out of love with me? You know, just kind of anxiously, like being anxiously attached. And I thought like, am I crazy? You know, why would I think that somebody who expressed interest in me doesn't want me? Like, why would you go there? Why would you go there?
I've had both. I was anxiously attached and avoidantly attached. Ooh, trouble in paradise, right?
You know, there are people who, you know, when you tell them, like, you want to get closer to them, they think you're choking them. You are literally like, why do you want so much closeness to me? Give me a break, right?
I think people are like sometimes I think people are lying. That anxiety sometimes isn't from them, but it's from, actually, where does anxiety come from, Monica? People develop these anxious attachment styles and they say to themselves, maybe this isn't real. Maybe they're lying to me.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just want something from me.
The self-doubt creeps in. I had this guy, he was talking to me, he's told me that he met this girl, absolutely, the girl that he's been manifesting, dreaming of. He's like, hands down,
Ooh.
I met this girl and she likes me and now we are in a relationship. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm so afraid I might lose her. All of a sudden, he's like, now I'm afraid I might lose her. Like, you've been praying for this girl, and now you're afraid that she might go? Give me a break.
Anxiety is something serious, my friends, and that's what we're going to talk about today because I've had that issue. And there's certain demographics that have certain issues more than others, like travelers and how avoidant they are of long-term love and commitment.
Yeah.
How some people are just so anxious trying to hold on to folks.
Yes.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Natish.
Yeah.
Hi, Puppy. Glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
Jose said, I'm excited to share this information. I've been sober for 18 months and I feel great. Got my life back. I love myself. I learned that I need to love myself first in order to love someone else.
Ooh, love
Let's
to hear that.
go, Jose. Oh my gosh,
love
that's
to hear
amazing.
That. Sending you some love.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Today we're talking about the attachment theory. Imagine some people grow old without having somebody to love and nurture them and care for them. And they wonder, why, am I ugly? Is it like I'm not good enough? I'm not worthy enough? They never figure out that they could be in the wrong attachment style. And that's why love is getting blocked over.
So what are the attachment styles?
The attachment styles. Now, she just asked the question. What are the attachment styles? So we have this big board right here, and we are going to divide it into 4 parts. Boom.
Okay,
And we can see that line and that line. So the people who win in love, the winners in love, and we are going to throw like a big heart here. These are the people who get love all the time. And I don't know if they can see that from our cameras.
It's a big old heart.
It's a big old heart right here. So I'm going to just push it closer. Oops, let's push them closer to the board.
You guys see? Awesome.
Yeah, so the people who win here, we call them the people who are secure.
They're locked in.
They are locked in. These are people who are winning. We all want to go to be these people. We want to be the secure people. These are the people who win in love.
Yes.
So if you don't have a secure attachment style, you don't win in love. So let's first talk about those people.
The secure folks. Okay,
The
what do they look
secure
like?
folks.
You know, it's funny. I asked someone a question recently. I was like, how are you so sure about your feelings? And he said to me, well, I just trust them. I don't know why that simple statement just like hit me so hard. Yeah. Because people who are secure trust themselves.
They trust themselves. And it's because of how they grew up.
He also had a really good parents.
Yeah, they had good parents. So imagine we start attaching at 6. When a woman is 6 months pregnant, we start the attachment style.
Really?
We start the attachment style before we are born.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Before we're born.
Before we are born.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want to be secure, you have to go through, like, think what's happening in a woman's. So when you're 6 months pregnant, when a baby is 6, before she's born, the baby is conscious, right? The baby is kicking, the baby is conscious. But they're in paradise. They're in paradise. The baby doesn't feel any cold.
Nope.
Their environment is perfect because they're in paradise, right? They don't have to poop because that's been taken care of. They don't even breathe for themselves. They are just being in paradise. They are growing. But then you don't stay in paradise forever.
Gotta go to the real world.
You gotta go to the real world. You gotta go to the real world. So what happens is they get born, right? Now every parent, every caregiver has to understand that this baby just came from paradise. And you're there not feeding the baby on time. And you're there not making sure that the baby is warm on time.
And it's the first time ever experiencing any emotions ever in their whole lives.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
very intense.
yeah, so when a nurturing parent is good, they know that, oh, they know the baby, they anticipate the needs of the baby even before the baby asks for anything. So the baby be like, good parents are like, the baby is going to wake up in 2 hours.
Right.
Let me go feed the baby. Let me go check on them. Let me make sure that their food is ready, that their diapers are ready, everything is ready. So the baby has no reason to be anxious
Ever.
or afraid, because when they need hugs, they're getting hugs.
Right. So one sign of a secure person is they usually have a good family dynamic. We usually had a parent that was very present, very loving, never made them question their parents' feelings towards them, and the parents anticipated their needs. So
Yeah.
they always felt
Secure.
good, always felt secure in themselves.
Yeah.
They love themselves, they trust themselves, they value themselves.
Yeah.
Secure people got it going on.
Yeah, and when they have another mind, they have another mind that's able to take care of other people.
Ooh.
They are able to anticipate your needs. They are able to anticipate what you need emotionally. They know just the right time to call you if you're feeling lonely or to
Yes.
check on you. They're
Yes.
very good people to be in a relationship with, because they've been loved
Right.
and they know how to love.
And a lot of times people wonder, why is my relationship not working out? I'm a secure person, but my partner, they're always jittery around me. Every time I say I need space, they're like, where are you going? Why can't we hang out some more? Can we?
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. What's the other attachment style when you
Yes.
act like that?
So we all want to be here. We all want to be secure, right? And if you don't have a secure attachment style, you have an insecure attachment style. So we only have these guys who are the winners, and everybody here has to work on themselves,
Totally.
because all these three other assignments, they are insecure.
So what's inside the insecure ones?
Yeah. So the first one that we are going to look is the anxious.
Ooh.
Somebody who has an anxious.
Hi, YB Cool. Glad you're back. And also Sock, glad you're here. We're talking about attachment styles.
Yeah, I promised you guys this morning we're talking about attachment styles.
Yes.
And why you need to have a secure attachment style to find love. But hey, if you don't have a secure attachment style, remember what we've always said: your brain is plastic. It's like Play-Doh. It can change.
It can change.
You
And
have the ability to change your mind.
Also, Raphael, what kind of attachment style do you have? Since you're proposing to my girl here, and
Exactly. You need to know your attachment style, because if we don't have a matching attachment style, we both need to work hard on that relationship.
yeah, be very aware.
We need to be very
But not
aware.
even just in like romantic relationships, your friendships, your business relationships, your work.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you ever have like some anxiety before a meeting? You're like, what if they say something about my work, but you've done everything absolutely perfectly?
Yeah, so let me know which attachment style sounds more like you, because we already talked about the secure one.
Ooh.
Now we are going to talk about the anxious attachment style. And anxious attachment style is one of the insecure attachment styles. So,
All right, Raphael, tell us, what do you know about the anxious attachment style, and how do they love and trust and understand each other? You gotta let us know.
hi, two beautiful women. Hi, Lombard. Jaime, welcome back.
Glad you're here.
Socks, welcome back. Jose, all of you, welcome back.
Glad you're
We're
here.
seeing a lot of people who've been there on our live chats.
Thank you guys for coming back.
We
Make sure
love,
you subscribe. We love having you guys here.
Yeah, we love that you're growing this channel. And so today we're talking about attachment styles,
Yes.
and that prevent us from finding love. And right now we are on the anxious attachment style. Let's talk about the anxious attachment style. Now you have this parent.
Ooh.
Oh, they have a baby, right?
Hello.
But this parent is confused, right? The baby is hungry, but the parent is out clubbing.
Ooh.
Woo!
City girl mothers.
City girl mothers, they have a baby, but they're not there to take care of the baby. So the baby goes anxious. They don't know where the mother is. They don't know when she's coming back. They've been hungry for hours. Nobody's been feeding them. And then the mom comes and she's like loving and feeds them. But the thing is, the baby their nervous system doesn't grow well. It grows to be nervous because they don't know when they'll be left alone.
There's no certainty.
There's no certainty. And that's why they get anxious when they're growing, when they become lovers, they become lovers as they grow older, and they are looking for relationships. They don't know if this person they fell in love with is for reals.
That was my problem. having a parent that was very on and off emotionally. So there was no formal diagnosis, but a lot of people who have like bipolar. The one minute they're really nice, they're really happy, they're really showing up for you, and the next they're upset, they're angry, they're not showing up for you, or you have this uncertainty. Like she said,
Yeah.
if you're a kid and you want to wake up and expect to eat at this exact time, and
Yeah.
the next day you're not eating until midnight, and you're
Yeah.
not knowing where your next meal is coming from or when, or where your parents are,
Yeah.
you now want to like them to cling. You want to cling to them. Like, where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And a lot of times in relationships that happens when a secure person, perhaps, or maybe someone who didn't have a deep anxiety, gets with someone who starts to make them feel insecure.
Yeah.
Like you ever had a partner and you know something's up and they start to gaslight you, being like, oh, nothing's wrong. Or I'm going out, I don't know when I'll be back.
They're not telling you.
Yes.
They're not explaining things
There's
to you.
no clear communication.
Yeah.
So now it's making you nervous. And maybe you have like the right to be nervous. You leave that relationship and you take those anxieties with you.
See, if somebody is doing that to you, and that's what we say, the avoidant and anxious person dynamic.
Yeah.
If you need assuring and they need space, that relationship will not work. And we are going to see that anxious avoidant dynamic trap. Because it's usually a trap. It's never going to be a solid relationship. It's
Never.
going to be like this. So, and I did used to know that I had a boyfriend, and I used to make sure that I call him after work, and we're talking because we're in a long distance relationship. But he used to complain that we are not close. And I thought he probably has an anxious attachment style, and it's because it's a long distance relationship. Obviously, he's afraid of losing me, all that. But I didn't know about the attachment style. So I thought he was nagging me.
Oh,
I thought he was a nagging person. Like I call you every day,
Right.
after work, and it's been a gruesome day. I have a busy calendar. Like, I'm like, what do you not understand? Like, I'm trying.
Anxious people sometimes can try to overstep your boundaries because they feel like boundaries are a way to keep them out.
Yeah.
Let's read the comments. Let's see. Jamie Lambert said, beautiful woman, thank you. R said, the most irritating and uneducated woman alive. Well, tell us what you know about attachment styles and love, since you know so much. And Aruma said, hello, madam. Hi, we're glad you're here. We're talking about relationships and attachment styles and how they show up in life.
Yeah.
And right now we're on the anxious attachment style. And so a lot of people who have the anxious attachment style can be very like clingy, can be very grabby. They're always wondering what's going on. And they sometimes don't have a sense of like trust.
Yeah, they fear being abandoned.
They very fear being abandoned.
And being left. And it's not like, and we say like people with anxious attachment style have the most to gain from this whole, they have the most to gain.
Right.
Because all they need to know is that they need to look for a partner who makes them feel safe.
Reassurance.
And then they can turn out to be the most lovey-dovey people.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. The most loving, the most like not clean, but comforting people.
Yeah.
Because with enough time and enough assurance, they'll eventually come around, but that's if they want to.
Yeah, and then we have the avoidant.
Bum, bum, bum.
I feel very sorry for the avoidant.
You know, the avoidant type is the nonchalant dreadhead. Have you guys heard of that recently? It's been like a trend for people who have dreads to be very nonchalant. And growing up, I was very nonchalant. I was very emotionally reserved because of avoidance.
Yeah. And sometimes I get my colors right. You guys are used to me. So,
Kolkata in the house. Woo! I've been to India. I don't know about Kolkata. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, so the people who seem like they are avoiding you, I feel sad for the avoidant because the avoidant has a lot to gain from a relationship, and they have a lot to learn from relationships.
Aya's back. We're glad you're back,
Aya. Wow. We love to see you guys, especially the people who are coming back to our live chat. We love you. So today we are talking about these anxious attachment styles. Love attachment styles, and now we are talking about the avoidant. Yeah, so they do it like so you know what they did a test, like an experiment, and they take kids and they bring them into a room with their parents. Like these kids are like 18 months, and they let their parents come to the room and then leave the room, right? So you see, like kids who are anxious and secure, when the parents come into the room, they're fine. So, and then the parents leave the room. The kid who is anxious shows a little bit of anxiety that the mom is leaving, and then kind of like is screaming or crying. The mom has left the room, and then after a while they start playing with other kids.
Okay.
But the kid, and then the mom comes, and then they cry, or they cry a little bit when the mom comes to let the mom know that they did wrong to leave them.
Ooh.
But then they will bond with the mom. But the kid that is avoidant, the mom comes into the room, leaves the room, they don't change.
Ooh, that kid, I would think I'm raising a psychopath.
They don't change. But when they measure their stress levels, they have the same stress as the kid who is anxious.
Oh, they just internalize it.
Yeah, they're not able to look for somebody to give them a hug or comforting, just because the mom is very unattached to them. So they have this anxiety, and they need somebody to nurse that anxiety.
Yeah.
But they avoid it.
Right.
They avoid
Right.
it. They are like, I'm better off on my own. So for me, that is kind of like,
The avoidant.
I feel sorry for the avoidant kid.
Hi from India. Hi from the US. We're glad you guys are here.
Yeah, Amjad, Pasha, welcome.
But yeah, what you're saying about the avoidant type is usually an anxious person who just turned it inward because they felt like it was unsafe to express their anxieties outwards.
Yeah.
You see, at least for the anxious person, they show their feelings. But for the avoidant person, they feel sometimes so unsafe or so unsure that they just go right in.
Yeah, the way they feel safe is to avoid the situation.
Exactly, to avoid their feelings. And people, again, who travel a lot can also be very, very avoidant of their own feelings because they think to themselves, well, I'm not going to see this person, so I can't get too attached.
Yeah.
So let me make sure I keep this like emotional distance between us, even though I want us to be close.
Yeah.
And MKU said, are y'all Indian? No, I am not Indian. I'm African American, and she's Kenyan.
I'm Kenyan. I'm African.
But I've been to India 2 times. I had a great time.
No, we're not Indian. Yeah, so we're talking about anxious and attachment styles of love. So let us know, guys. We've already talked about some attachment styles. If you guys have heard about these attachment styles.
Oh, yo, glad you're back. We're talking about attachment styles. So are you a secure person in a relationship? Do you feel anxious and you're wondering like, where's my partner? When are they coming home? Are you avoidant, like you avoid your emotions and talking about it all together? There's a 4th one. There's a 4th one that is like the combo move.
Yeah.
Of the worst ones.
Yeah, this is the anxious and avoidant, right? And we call it also, yeah, we also call it disorganized.
Disorganized.
Yeah, it's both. You have your avoidant and your, so we've already talked what these two are. So having them both is like you're insecure, you're anxious, and you're avoidant.
So you internalize it.
Yeah, and this has to do with your nervous system.
Yeah, and Kirshner, he said something great. They said, practice deep breathing, think positively, and take small steps. Stay healthy and seek support to manage anxiety. That is great
Yeah.
advice. Amazing, like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because the anxious and avoidant person is someone who has a lot of emotions all trapped inside.
Yeah.
And usually they've had a parent that made them feel anxiety and another parent that was neglectful. Is that right?
Yeah.
And so for myself, I was the anxious avoidant type. Because on the inside, I would quietly feel a lot of anxiety, but I wouldn't express it outwardly. And a big reason was because I didn't want to bother other people with my emotions. And so that avoidance was like me holding it all in. And those emotions don't go away. They stick with you.
Yeah.
And so MKU said, if your partner is insecure in the relationship, it is your job to make them feel secure and loved. I think you can help. You can absolutely help them feel that way. But if they're not aware and they're not working on themselves, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. And a lot of it is like, if you are secure, if you're securely attached, you have a superpower when it comes
Yeah.
to love. You can help other people heal because you know when to give somebody who is avoidant a break, right? And you know how to soothe somebody who is anxious. But if you're anxious, you don't get to choose your partner. You only have one choice. You only have the choice of getting somebody who is secure.
And anxious people have a tendency to be the ones who don't get partners at all, and avoidant to be the type of people who always like get a lot of anxious people to them. Because someone anxious, they're used to having to fight for someone's emotions.
Yeah.
They're used to being clingy and they're used to chasing.
Yeah,
So
they
they'll
feel
chase
they
the
feel
avoidant.
clingy, but they only feel clingy
Yes.
when they are with an avoidant partner.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the only clinginess, so they're trying to express, the anxious person is trying to get affection the way a normal human wants to get affection.
I've had friends who were like negatively anxious. 'Cause there's some people who are very just honestly just trying to express themselves. And I've had some people, because I was the avoidant type,
When you're avoidant and somebody is
and they
trying
were
to,
so clingy.
so you feel like they are clingy because
Yeah.
you're avoidant, right?
They would call me like 50 times a week.
Yeah.
50 times, 50.
Yeah, but
Crazy numbers.
Yes, but when you're avoidant, you feel like people are choking you. When
Yeah.
you're secure, you know how to anticipate them calling you. You call them in advance. You check on them. You
Yeah.
make them calm down. You make them soothe down. So it's all about choosing the right partner.
That's true. I wasn't the right dynamic for them.
You wanna,
They needed
yeah.
a lot of reassurance from me on a regular basis. It was the constant phone calls, the constantly needing reassurance from me, and not respecting any boundaries that I had. That was
Yeah.
so tough.
Yeah.
But also, I was very avoidant, and I was like, I would communicate my boundaries one time, but I wasn't about to do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
So, but I really took the time to think about how I felt these feelings, the anxious avoidant feelings. I started going to therapy when I was 16, and I was made aware of my issue of being anxious and avoidant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it takes time. It's a very like slow process of overcoming those feelings.
Yeah. So when it comes to love, right? When it comes to love, we do not try to change people. I'm sorry. I'm getting you out of the camera. I don't know how to do this.
Krishna said a good relationship thrives on trust, communication, and mutual respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo said y'all are both gorgeous. I love your personality. Yo-Yo, we're always so glad you're here. You're the best.
Yeah, so that's what we are doing. We are trying to.
A cup with ale, should keep each other 1,000 all day, every day. No secrets, no backstabbing each other. You post to love and honor and trust each other and protect each other and help each other. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking for love, know your attachment style.
Know it.
And then know the other person's attachment style. And then realize you cannot force anybody
Yeah.
to be in a relationship with you. You only have to pick the one who has the attachment style that has to work for you. Because a lot of people who are anxious, they try to chase about the avoidant person, and it will never work.
It won't.
That relationship, they'll never feel loved by that person because they're in a dynamic that will not work.
And I was also the anxious. So my external was avoidant. My internal was very anxious. And there was a time where I didn't love myself enough. And so that anxiety would culminate to where I had to like crush it down. But you have to have the humility to be able to like say, I was the person who loved myself, or I was someone who was insecure and I felt anxieties and I hid them. Because a lot of folks will automatically jump to being like, I'm secure.
Yeah.
But if someone has the humility to be very aware of their attachment styles, they can get to that secure point.
Yeah,
it's not fixed.
Yeah, you can change your brain. You can change your brain. And I like what Krishna says, that a secure relationship thrives on trust, communication, balancing reassurance for anxious partners, and space for the avoidant. So if you know your partner and the attachment style, you can try to match what is working for them. But the number one thing that every psychologist will tell you is, first of all, if you're already in a bad dynamic, anxious and avoidant, this will probably never work out for you ever. So if you're insecure, try to get a secure partner.
Yeah.
You know, if you're insecure, try to get a secure partner. Like for
Learn
you,
from them.
exactly for you, my viewers, because before all the secures are taken away, before they take all the secure partners, you know, go get yourself a secure partner.
Become the secure partner too if you can't find any.
A-
You'll
a-
help people.
And then you can learn about, yeah, and then become as, because secure partners can help you become more secure.
They'll teach you.
They'll teach you, but you have to be willing to learn. Exactly.
So I've overcome the anxiety, and for the avoidance, I've gotten better with communicating boundaries. But for me, the expression of the romance, of like the feelings, is tough.
Yeah.
It's awkward for me. Like I'm like, oh, what do I say? Because it feels uncomfortable. Because you gotta get practice in like expressing the romantic feeling.
But it's like just being like the way the cuddly, like your
Yeah.
cat is cuddly.
Yeah.
It teaches you how to be loved and open to love, but also nurturing, like learning how to take care of somebody, even physiological needs. Oh, are they cold? You give them a blanket. You know, kind of like you're nurturing and taking care of somebody and showing them love, you know, taking care of somebody. Because when it comes to love, okay, we say when it comes to love, be as codependent as you must, you know, because you're with somebody and you want to show them that you care for them, and this is the person that you have chosen in your life to show you the way to love and happiness. So that person, you go all the way in, you know.
Don't hold back.
You don't hold back, and you let them love you, and you let them, you gotta go all in or go home.
How do you find out someone's attachment style early in a relationship?
Hi, Bikram.
I always wonder that because you meet people over time and you gradually find out their attachment style, but like how can you see where they're at early on?
You know, you can ask people questions. Like for example, when you grab this book by Amir Levin, right? You can ask people questions like, oh, do you like talking on the phone? You know, even this, or is this your main way to connect? People who are avoidant will probably want to avoid as much closeness as they can.
You know what? As someone who's overcome being avoidant, one of the ways that I show my affection is spending time together. Because an avoidant person always wants to be alone.
Yeah.
They're afraid of that affection, and so when I really care about someone, I want to spend all my time. I want to see them as much as I can, or I really prioritize spending time, even if it's just us doing whatever, anything random.
Yeah.
And because it's a gradual like awareness. And then after we spend a lot of time together and we're talking, I'll be like, are you cold? Are you hungry? Or I'll just bring them a blanket. Like I notice those things.
Yeah.
Or I'll be very aware, remember the things about them. Like my little journal of all the facts about them become very long.
Yeah. You can train your mind to love, even if your mind wasn't loved as growing up.
You really can.
You can. We all have the power to change our minds. That's
Krishna,
the superpower we have.
Krishna, you are so aware and so smart. Did you have a relationship before? Because you really know what's up. He said, anxious and insecure individuals may struggle with the fear of rejection, constant need for reassurance, and difficulty trusting their partners, creating tension in the relationship.
Yeah, if they are with the avoidant partner, there will be a lot of tension. But if they have a secure partner, and that's why we say to an anxious person, never ever go with an avoidant. Never have zero, like zero to do with them.
She said, leave them.
Leave them immediately. Get yourself a secure partner because they'll call you on time.
Yeah.
They will check on you. They will not even have to be reminded.
My insecure girlfriends, so they're not insecure with their friends, but they're insecure in their relationships. And one thing that they do is that they'll accept any form of affection from any man. And have you heard the concept of looking for love in the wrong places? That is literally what that is. So anyone that is showing them an ounce of kindness, might even call them pretty, but then they'll call them for a booty call.
Oh my goodness.
Or they'll take them out for like Wendy's, a cheap meal, and then try to get with them. Or they're like, oh, I really love the way your shoes look, but you should try on some different other shoes.
Yeah.
They'll still be like, well, they like the way my shoes looked. Like looking for love in the wrong places is so common for the anxiously attached person because they're just yearning so badly for that reassurance.
Yeah.
And they're easy to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I see that so much when I travel, especially with a lot of girls who've never been in love before. Like, they want to be in love so bad. They want to tell this, like, fairy tale so bad. And you know what culture does this the most? take advantage of those girls the most? The Dominicans.
Oh.
Y'all ever meet Dominican guys? Oh my God.
I didn't even know that.
They are so bad.
Oh goodness,
They are so
Dominicans.
bad.
I'm
They're so
staying
smooth.
away from Dominicans.
They are like the smoothest, chocolatey, muscular, talking about, you're the one for me. I see my life with you. You're so beautiful. And these girls who've wanted that their whole lives, like they get wrapped in and they get taken advantage of so easily.
Yeah.
So having that anxiety on the inside, you have to, I tell people this, find those insecurities and root them out and fill yourself. Christian has said, overcome anxiety by building self-confidence, communicating openly, and practicing trust with your partner. And therapy,
Yeah, but the thing is, even if you have confidence, you're anxious, your nervous system at some point will want somebody to hug you, to soothe you, reassure you, all that.
Yeah.
And if somebody is avoidant,
they're not going to do that for
they're
you.
not gonna do that. The more you draw closer to them, and they wanna go away.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of like in this fight and this trap, in this dynamic.
Yeah.
And when it gets good, the avoidant pulls away.
Right.
And then the anxious person feels left out, and then they want to pull him back in, and then they start dancing.
Yes.
An
awkward dance.
Yeah, and the anxious person loses their mind.
MKU said, touching affection, asking their options on your decision, it's secure with I love you before or after a kiss, and joking. And talking about communicating a conversation of your principles. And Krishna said, real men in relationships are supportive, communicative, and respectful. They prioritize trust, loyalty, and working together to build a strong connection. Yeah. And also, you can just outright, you can tell when someone likes you or wants to use you.
Yeah.
Right? Someone likes you, they'll understand where you're coming from on the spectrum.
So, yeah, and secure people don't want to use you. The people who have that type of wanting to use people are the people who are, who've been raised wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
and sometimes the folks who are avoidant
yeah,
can end up using you because remember, the avoidant person, the anxious avoidant person is the most difficult type.
Yeah.
In my opinion, especially coming from someone who's been that type.
I'm trying to get both. Okay.
Better?
This one works.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who's been that type, because when you're an anxious avoidant, people around you are also that way sometimes.
No, I'm not in this camera.
Hold on, let me scoot over some.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, the anxious avoidant, because all their anxieties are hidden. At least with the anxious person, you know they're anxious.
Yes.
They're very open about it. If they're insecure, they're open. But the avoidant person, since they hide it so much, you'll have no clue.
Yeah.
And if they're not aware of that, they can really like suck you in and like strip you of all of your emotional happiness, because you don't know why they're acting this way. And they'll be very back and forth. One minute they're like, oh my God, I love hanging out with you. The next they'll be like,
They pull away. They pull away
very quickly.
Yeah, and the avoidant is okay when somebody is secure. They can deal with an avoidant. It's okay for somebody who is secure. They're like, okay, they need a break. Let me go.
Right.
But somebody who is anxious, they will feel like the relationship is ending,
falling apart.
Everything is gone, and they'll start losing their mind.
I remember having a girlfriend. We talked about her in one of our last streams when I was 16.
Yeah.
And she was super anxiously attached to me. And I had to do simple things like my homework.
Oh, wow.
And she would call me constantly. She would want to hang out constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I need time to myself to just do my schoolwork.
Exactly.
And it would offend her. She's like, oh, you just don't want to hang out with me. You just don't want to see me. And that's how you know someone is anxiously attached. Because your boundaries causes offense to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it can be choking. It can be choking to somebody who has an avoidant attachment style. It's like, ooh, get a life,
someone
girl.
who is secure and they need to do things like, because a secure person usually has a robust life. They have a job, they have friends, and you are one part of their beautiful life.
Yeah, but when they are in a relationship with somebody who is secure, they'll get used to them. Secure people are able to of adopting people and other their attachment styles, and they are able to be like, okay, blah blah. They're just naturally they have it. They got it. They have the A+ in the relationship. That's why we tell them go there, like
I also feel
go
like
to
having,
the secure one.
I think in a relationship, I think it's so important that people have secure dads. Because a lot of times, especially in like black community, we'll have avoidant dads with anxious mothers.
Yes.
And that is the number one dynamic.
Yeah.
But if you have an anxious mother and they have a very secure dad, I think the dad can change the tone of a household more.
Yes.
Because we're more familiar with women being anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas when a dad is anxious, they're like the structure of your home, the foundation.
Yeah.
So it makes everyone else feel anxious.
Yeah. Yeah.
And MKU said your goal is to be perfect for your partner, even though you will never be love, dump, or smooth them with affection. Periods throughout the day. Most people have, love dump them with affection. Periods throughout the day. Most people have reasons, your job to help them. Yeah. Love that isn't genuine deceives the heart, while love that's true nurtures it with honesty and care. Because no matter what, everyone at some point in their life has had one of these experiences.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a wrong relationship can bring a secure person to being anxious or a secure person to being avoidant. What's that guy? Andrew Tate.
I don't like the guys.
And
I don't like the
there's
likes
another
of
one,
Andrew Tate.
Fresh and Fit. They really prey on guys who have had heartbreak
Yeah.
and make them like avoidant and mean and nasty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they're trying to tell guys, well, you want to do this to a woman and then dump her so you can avoid having any emotional responsibility.
Yeah, they are abusive men, and I think they are narcissists. I think Andrew Tate is like a narcissistic man, and
Yes.
I don't only like very insecure women get attracted to people like Andrew Tate.
Very.
Like you have to have very low
Very,
self-esteem.
very, very, very. Oh man, when I was in Asia though, I saw that way more. I saw a lot more anxious women chasing avoidant men.
Yeah.
Whereas in the black community, we have more. It's changed. We have more like avoidant women, and you see it in like the music we have now.
Yeah.
Like the music. Have you heard the songs, the rap songs now?
I don't listen to them because
Oh
I
my
know
God,
that
it's a
whatever I
big
listen to,
difference.
I can condition my mind to it, and you know,
Yeah.
I'm always speaking against even lyrics like from people like Beyonce, because her lyrics lately are telling women to just be hoes.
I had to
And I'm
switch it
like,
up, and I started listening
it's not good
to like
music.
Afro beats, and I started listening to R&B more because the rap music has changed because there's a lot more female rappers, and you can tell a lot about a culture by their music.
Yeah, the fact that like rap music calls women bitches, like
Yes,
it's just
but
it
the
just
female
tells you.
rappers, they're telling girls now to just like have sex with a guy and dump them.
Damn, yeah.
The way guys used to tell men in songs to have sex and dump them.
No, but men are so happy about this because they are like, you know what? At the end of the day, a woman will feel dumped and used. You know,
Yeah.
so they are brainwashing women into promiscuity and making just the female like look cheaper, and
It does work out for the partner. They're
away
like,
from the sacred feminine. Yeah, it
Yeah.
works out for men who want cheap sex. People like
and it
Andrew
makes
Tate,
those
like
women
fine.
even more avoidant. Here, like way, 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 way more avoidant.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a very like masculine place for a woman when you start avoiding your feelings. Because the more feminine I felt, the more expressive I felt with my emotions.
Yeah.
When I felt safe to do so, and I created that safety in myself.
Yeah, I mean, rap women, like those kinds of rappers, like if you want like bad mental health, go to somebody like Beyonce and listen to her music, you know?
If you want bad mental health, go to drill rap. That's crazy.
Right? Go listen to those people. They're telling you, go have sex with anybody,
Yes.
drink at night, go to the club all night,
Yeah.
get whoever that you want to be with. And you go to a psychologist, any kind of mental health advocate will tell you, what the heck is that?
That's not right.
Stop listening to that.
But you can really, you know what's another great way to tell someone's like attachment style? The music they listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think of like all the ways you can identify these attachment styles early on before you get super involved. Because a lot of times a secure person, if they're masking their insecurities and they're avoidant, you won't know for a long time.
Yeah.
Until you're in too deep.
You can know if you're self-aware.
If you're self-aware.
Yeah, if you're self-aware, that you'll know eventually, like when you get into a relationship and you're not calling an anxious person and you're not communicating with them and they're anxious about it, they'll make you know, like, you're not calling me enough times, or they'll let you know. Or somebody who is avoidant,
Clear communication.
yeah, they'll not be communicating with you as quickly as you need to, and you'll get that very quickly in the relationship. or or you probably will never get into an avoidant if you're an avoidant, because you both will be,
Yeah. When I was friends with some really anxiously attached people, and I think they're good examples because they were way more extreme in the anxiety, they would dump their emotional problems onto me constantly. So if you're a secure person, you gotta look out for that because there's levels to it.
Yeah.
On one point, you could talk about your feelings and create a plan for it, but every time they talk to you is about their problems, they don't ask about you. The anxious person is a very selfish person because all it is about their own feelings.
Right.
And it's never in any way, shape, or form about you. And when I was in that dynamic, when they called me those 50 times, they'll talk about themselves and their own problems. Our conversation was maybe 4 seconds about me. Oh, how are you? Oh, that's great. Yeah, did I tell you what happened with my dad? Like, it was too much.
But people are used to, like, when you're an avoidant,
Yeah.
people you have no.
Oh wait, I'm talking about that one friend I had when I came back from India.
Yeah.
That was a definition of badly anxious. Badly anxious.
Yeah,
Oh.
but she's getting her soothing from you, and you're not used to that. If she was getting from somebody who was more like secure, and they're used to that kind of communication, and I'm not saying that you're just avoidant. I'm just saying is that for you and your dynamics and what you're used to, for her, it doesn't get to the threshold that she's used to.
Nope.
But if she got somebody who was Indian, probably
And
also
knew those kind of
the way around, and that person was talking to her all the time, and they'll be fine.
I feel like it's a
They'll
good
be
dynamic
fine.
for like your husband too. There's levels to it too. Like if you are in the marriage phase and you guys are talking about spending your life together, the secure person, you should really handle the anxious person. The avoidant person can overcome their avoidance and get close to you. But let's talk about what it looks like in like the workplace, or what it looks like when you have just your friends, because those are other types of like love-based relationships.
Yeah.
Where it's like if there's feelings, there's emotions involved, but sometimes not that same level of commitment. Because romantic commitment could be like a lifelong thing. You're there.
Yeah.
But those lesser commitments.
Well, some people can, like, avoidance can be very good at work, because at work you don't really need to be in a relationship with anybody. Constant communication is like, here is my work, right?
Done.
But whether you get promoted in this world where people promote their friends and people they're used to, that would be a whole other thing.
When I overcame my like avoidant feelings, because I was taught that you're not supposed to be friends with your coworkers. I truly believe that. I thought you couldn't be friends with your coworkers, so I intentionally didn't make friends with my coworkers. I was just polite. And then I found out that you could be friends with your coworkers, and that's when I started to get promoted. I had no clue that was allowed.
Bury yourself, work hard, and then you
I
realize.
was just burying myself under work and working so hard. I'm like, man, they really just don't want me in this company. Nope, it wasn't my friend.
A lot of people don't know. Like all these like Dharma people that you are getting promoted, you're working hard because they just know how to make their relationships work.
Krishna said, anxious avoidant relationships, one seeks closest while the other one draws, creating insecurity. Open communication and understanding can help break this cycle. Yeah, heavy on the communication.
Yeah.
One thing I knew for a fact that I had very well was communication. And an avoidant person normally has really bad communication. And I learned about my issue early in life, so I was able to like build ways to overcome it gradually. And one way I did was through that communication. Like I was very open and very communicative about my boundaries. Like, let's talk once a week on the phone, because I can't get around to calling you like 3, 4, 5 times a day, right? And then it was only maybe after about 4 years of my boundaries being absolutely just shitted on that I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. 4 years. Yeah, I probably should.
That's a long time.
That's kind of a long time.
That's a long time. 4
That's kind of a long time. Yeah.
Like you can.
I was
slow about
this.
That's still snail pace.
Yeah, so I probably should have jumped ship a little bit sooner. But that shows you the amount of time it takes to get to that point.
It can take a long time, and then and we're trying to tell people here, because when you don't have a mentor, it's like you be getting a whooping and a beating until that day.
You really do. You really do. I was like, man, I'm really really tired whenever we have these phone calls. Like, I have to. You really do. Man, when I say mental health is so important,
You gotta be on top of the game, just
you
like anything
have
else.
to.
You just
You
have to be on
have
top of
to.
the game. There is no way that you're going to have a long-lasting relationship right now in this day if you grew up with insecurity and you're not aware of the security,
Yeah.
the anxious avoidant traps. You're not aware of like a secure avoidant relationship, secure anxious relationships, and how those can work for you. I mean, it's going to be. I get
Just
people.
tough.
People get divorced 3 times, and they just still cannot figure it out.
Both my parents had 3 marriages, 3 marriages. That's a lot of like getting married.
I
You
know,
know, that's a
because
lot of getting married.
and the only thing that they are doing 100% is that you're picking the wrong partner.
That's usually what they think.
Yeah.
That they're only picking the wrong partner, but sometimes they don't have the humility to realize in what ways am I wrong?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. You have to realize, like, you're like, I'm avoidant, so you know for sure your relationship with another avoidant never will work, right? Your relationship with an anxious person will never work. The only relationship that avoidant has to work is, I'm going to get a secure partner, somebody who is okay giving me a break when I need a break.
I notice avoidants are the ones who stay single the longest in their lives.
Exactly.
Like most of the time, the avoidant relationship person is someone who's single well into their 50s and 60s and 70s.
Yeah, and then the dating pool, the dating pool will take the secures out and it will
Yeah.
take the anxious out, right? So it will be left with avoidance.
Avoidance.
And all these people who are single, you're an avoidant and you're trying to get another avoidant. Eric say, hi, you're so beautiful and attractive. Thanks, Eric. Please compare. Oh, no, we don't do comparing hands.
Krishna said both partners support each other's growth, value each other's opinions, and handle conflict with empathy and understanding. How they handle conflict. Actually, that is such a good topic. How each attachment style handles conflict. Because the anxious person, you can have like really big blowout fights. Like really, really big blowout fights. Since they're already emotionally charged. Where the avoidant person will literally not even talk about it. And I don't know which one would be harder. Because listen, the anxious person, it's done. Like you talk about it, it's out. But the avoidant person, you can have these like resentment build up because they're just hiding from the issue.
Yeah, but these dynamics are the dynamic that they are fighting is the anxious and avoidant dynamic. That creates a conflict. Like that relationship is not a relationship, is a dynamic. They will be fighting. And
Constantly.
They'll be fighting constantly.
It'll be the anxious person trying to get the avoidant person to talk about it.
And the avoidant person not wanting to talk about it.
And hiding.
And so they'll be like, you're chasing and this person is running away. They'll just keep butting heads. Infinity.
I can
It's just
see
impossible.
anxious people, they feel like they're losing their minds. They feel really angry and they go from like nice people to very resentful people with an avoidant type.
Yeah.
And the avoidant person can sometimes seem like the good person, the good guy, because they might not yell back. They might not give in to the problem or talk about it. So especially in like,
but they're not giving their partner what their partner
what they
needs.
want, right? Especially in like a family dynamic, like a wife, husband, and kids. The kids will see the mom being upset and trying to have like a communication about this, but they'll see the dad doing nothing, right? So they'll think, oh, mom is bad. But in reality, it's the dad avoiding these issues and never getting to the bottom of it, make people feel crazy. It's a lot.
Yeah, and the only way out of this trap is say, if you're anxious, get a secure partner. If you're avoidant, get a secure partner. Because don't go into World War III. We don't need World War III.
Our two secure people get together. Krishna said to handle conflict with an anxious partner, stay calm, listen patiently, reassure them, validate them, communicate calmly to resolve the issue together.
Yeah, those are the behaviors of a secure partner. They will not get that from an avoidant partner or another anxious partner. You have to pick the right fruit before it goes bad.
And figure out what kind of fruit you are.
Figure out. It's just the choice.
I can definitely say I'm like right here in the secure, anxiously avoidant. Like I'm very close to being secure, but in the beginning of relationships, I still have this concept of like, in my head, in my own mind, it's like, are they lying to me? Are they being honest with me? Are these feelings real? Do they want something from me?
Yeah.
I've had so many people who, in the beginning of like a dynamic, will like lie to get something from me. Like they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're the best person ever. Try to sleep with me," and I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah, yeah.
So I have a little bit of like cynicism and skeptical. So I'm like, "Oh well, maybe yeah," but I don't really express it.
Yeah.
But then once I realize they're being genuine, then I'm very secure.
Yeah, you could be anxious. That's kind of shows anxiety.
Yeah, that's why I say here, because I won't express that I feel anxious about them. I will be like, I will process my feelings just quietly on the inside.
Yeah.
Because it's usually in the very beginning, like the first couple weeks when I feel this way.
Okay.
So I can figure out, like, are they being honest?
Yeah.
And so Krishna said, an insecure partner can bring empathy, attentiveness, and a strong emotional connection with support. Their vulnerability can lead to growth and mutual understanding. Exactly. Being vulnerable, like how each type of attachment style is vulnerable, really changes the game. The best friendships, the best dynamics, the best people I've ever met are ones who are openly vulnerable because they have the strength to be vulnerable and hold themselves together.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel like they're so vulnerable that their baby needs to be picked up and cared for by you. You know?
And I think probably that's a good point when you say like we should assess other people's levels of openness in a relationship, because it's their ability to communicate that actually is huge. Their vulnerability.
The vulnerability.
Yeah.
Can you hold yourself up and also like show yourself in a healthy way? Because a really anxious person can put their vulnerability on you as if they're like a child, and that's how I felt like. I felt like I was emotionally babysitting and caring for like a little kid who was just. You ever meet those little kids who aren't being cared for, right? And they're like clinging to you, they're holding onto your leg constantly. And that's kind of how I felt with certain
They're
people.
anxious, and and it's normal to be like that. You're anxious. You want somebody to be in your life, to not leave, to stay. You know, you want that security. And we thrive on that attachment. It's the attachment, that kind of attachment, is what keeps babies alive. It's what keeps marriages alive. It's what keeps jobs alive. You know, attachment is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's when you lack it. That's when it's a bad thing. And when somebody is not there, they don't want to connect, they don't want to attach, leave them. Go get somebody else who wants to attach and connect, because that's the healthy way the human brain thrives and and grows.
An anxious partner can create tension through constant reassurance seeking, but patient communication can help strengthen the relationship. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you want to make somebody feel safe. Whatever they're not calm, their nervous system is like this,
everywhere,
activated because it needs reassuring, like put it back in place, in place, and they deserve that.
Right.
they deserve that. I'm like, go for what you deserve.
A lot of times it's good to figure out how to do that yourself, because you attract what you are. And so if you are someone who's good at like putting that reassurance in yourself, I've had to do this more recently, of reassuring myself constantly so I don't go out and seek validation. Because there's like a pivot, right? Of like needing reassurance and seeking validation that could take you down the wrong road.
Yeah.
And a lot of women get to that point of like seeking validation, especially on social media.
Oh
my God, it leads you to doing like some desperate things.
Yeah.
And as in like,
but we're talking about mature relationships here, right? Like for me, like if I got into a mature relation, I'm not like constantly like needy. I take care of my business, right?
Yeah.
But if I am in a relationship, I don't think I need to tell a guy like check on me, like you go for 2 days, 3 hours, 3 days, and you think like we are in a relationship, and you're not telling.
That's crazy.
Like I'm like,
that's crazy.
You
should talk if you're in a relationship. You should talk at least every day. That's fair.
Yeah, it's like
that's nuts. I don't talk to you for like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, it's like having flowers and forgetting to water them.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is like with avoidant people. They forget like this is a flower. Like we are in a relationship. Is either you wanna be here or you don't, right?
Right.
And if my needs, I tell people who are anxious, because I have an anxious attachment style, my needs are what they are.
Yeah, you better tell them.
My needs are what they are.
And they're very fair. They're very reasonable. They're not asking for something crazy.
Yeah, and it's either you can water this garden or you get another one, and it's either you water this flower or get you some succulents.
It's some succulents, right?
Succulents that do not need watering. You know.
Honestly, making your needs known, especially in like a mature relationship where you have the established things, like you both communicate, you're open with what you need, you made it very clear what you need.
Yeah.
And if they're choosing not to meet those needs, then there's nothing, you just gotta go.
Yeah.
That's a choice.
Yeah.
That's an absolute choice.
Yeah. Avoidant partners are good because they are very independent, right? And for some secure people, that works perfectly. Like, I don't have to baby this person. I don't have, they're independent. They know what to do, right?
Right.
But for me, for emotional security,
Yeah.
I would, if I'm getting into a relationship, I already know I have some anxiety around relationships. So I need somebody who's reassuring. For example, I need to make sure, like, like, if we decide to go somewhere, you show up on time. We do these things, like we have a plan, like stuff like that. I need that security that you're not going to drop the ball on me when, you know how those girls, like sometimes you hear a woman says, oh, I went into labor and my husband was nowhere to be found. I'm like, what am I doing 9 months pregnant? Where are you? You know, like on the last trimester.
Kirshner said, in today's world, genuine relationships are harder to find due to the superficial connections and busy lives. Yet with patience and understanding, meaningful bonds to be formed. Oh yeah, big time. I'm usually talking about the beginning of a relationship because you're trying to learn how to like form them and find them. And the superficialness of how we find relationships also contributes to these like unhealthy relationship dynamics and attachment styles, because a lot of times a lot of people think, well, I have social media, I have dating apps, and if I'm not really, this person isn't absolutely perfect for me, I can just swipe and find someone else.
Right.
That's the validation seeking.
Yeah.
And I see that happening a lot with anxiously avoidant people. And I see it happen. Most people who are anxiously avoidant are usually men. It's more of like a masculine trait because guys aren't allowed to show their feelings.
Yeah.
And they'll feel a lot of anxiety on the inside. And so that anxiety turns into validation seeking. And that validation seeking is going on the apps and, well, there's all these girls here trying to get someone to tell them that they're strong, they're handsome, they're good, right?
Yeah, I've seen those kinds of men. It's like they've gone through their life with nobody telling them they're amazing or good or whatever.
Right.
And they're all just there to try to get some woman they've never met
to make them feel reassured.
Yeah.
That's that validation seeking.
Yeah.
But they won't be able to express that in their personal lives.
Yeah.
They can't say that to their friends. They can't say that to their girlfriends, so they'll just avoid it.
Yeah.
And their poor girlfriends are like, why is he never talking to me? Or what's going on? I had a friend, my good friend in high school.
Yeah.
So our friendship was great, but him and his girlfriends always like had problems. And so one time his girlfriend calls me. And I was like, oh no, I'm in trouble. Like, I swear to God, I'm not doing anything. But she calls me and she's like, no, I'm not calling because anything happened. I'm calling because I don't know how to get through to him.
Oh.
He never tells me his emotions or how he feels. And it's like and she said that I feel like I'm like swimming in an ocean by myself because I just don't know what's going on with him, but I know something's wrong.
Yeah, that's something huge,
right? And we had been friends since we were kids. And I could have just tell her his business over the phone, like I didn't want to be involved in the relationship.
Yeah.
So I told her like, it'll take a lot of time. He's been through a lot.
Yeah.
For him to open up emotionally.
Yeah.
But good luck, sis. Like good luck. That's all you.
That's all you. You're dealing with somebody who don't want to open up. So it's very funny. Mm-hmm. Was it because he was opening up to you because you were not invested in the relationship and she was invested in the relationship?
There was no stakes involved. If he told me his feelings, nothing changes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I saw him as like soft or weak for telling me his feelings. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
But for guys with their girlfriends, they need their girlfriends to see them as strong. It's like a need.
They need to put on this facade that I am strong, I can take care of you.
Right. And so he would lose that facade, and that was important to his sense of self. And I was like, not my business.
Sam Kelly saying, stop telling these beautiful how beautiful and attractive they are. That's all the time. It's a turn off to us.
Wait, what?
What's going on here?
That is so funny.
Wow, Oh, World War III, I'm telling you.
Man, but that's what I'm telling you guys. Like making your friendships like really healthy and finding out about. I found out about a lot of issues that men have by
Yeah.
having male friends.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it helped me so much. It also helped me understanding like how to connect with guys, if you're romantically interested, because their emotion, how they express their emotions, especially like in America, is different.
Yeah.
You will not, for women, we'll just tell each other how we feel. Like,
Yeah.
oh girl, I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
today this guy at work, he sucked. But for guys, they're like, hooting and hollering.
So Krishna, sorry, you're saying you feel very happy to talk with us, and you're going through depression. Tell us more a little bit
Yeah, what's
about
going
what
on?
you're going through depression. I'm a mental health advocate, coach. I tell you, there is nothing you can't do. You can create a new mind from depression to bliss. Here, my channel, we call it. I know you're on Shy Solo, but we have another channel we call Post Traumatic Bliss. Post Traumatic Bliss. We talk about bliss. There is life after trauma, after depression. There is a blissful, happy life, and
Yeah.
we want you to go into that life, and I'll show you exactly how. I'll show you exactly how. Depression is really,
Oh yeah, I suffered from depression for 6 years.
yeah,
No, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 22.
yeah.
7 years.
First thing,
So
Krishna, we have to work out.
you can literally reprogram your brain and your mind out of that depression.
Yeah.
And I would meet way too many people who would tell me there's nothing they can do. They felt hopeless. Your brain can be changed because I did it.
Yeah. Number one, you have to work out. Why I tell
Right.
people to work out when they have depression to the point like you're sweaty is because the stress chemicals, they get out of your body.
Right.
You release them. So working out every day, get to that sweaty mode. I'm telling you, you're going to start feeling like the top percent people, the most highly effective people in the world.
I work out a lot
Just
for
by
that.
working out, just by working out alone. You know?
And changing your environment. So a big reason why I started traveling and started this channel is because how people always say like traveling changes you.
Traveling
But it changes your
you.
mental health
It does
a lot.
a lot.
Your environment can be contributing to your depression so real.
Yeah.
Oh, he said I lost my self-confidence. Oh, you can get it back. Don't
What?
worry.
Yeah, confidence. People think that confidence is something that you just are born with.
Right.
Look, nobody is born with confidence. Let me tell you, confidence, like any other skill, you must work every day to have your confidence back. Like I like looking good, so I work out. I go for walks. I do yoga, right? I try to eat right because if I don't work good at it, if I don't work hard towards my health, I'll lose it. And it's the same
Right.
thing with confidence.
Right.
You must keep learning new things and trying new things, traveling, seeing new things,
Try it.
and feel like you're growing, meeting new people, and all of a sudden your mind forgets.
Right.
Your mind forgets.
And like, in what ways did you lose your self-confidence? Like, was it how you look? Was it in like your ability to do something? Was it because there's a lot of different ways self-confidence shows up.
Yeah. How did you lose your self-confidence? What way in your life? Is it your health? Is it your food? Is it your money?
Right. Yeah.
Is it your social life? Like,
Right.
what is sucking you down? Like, we want to know.
And when I was rebuilding my confidence, the one thing I had to do is realize like my self-confidence went away because I didn't trust myself.
Yeah.
And so rebuilding that trust in myself gave my confidence back gradually.
Yes.
It's a slow burn, but you get there.
Yeah. The main thing, I mean, confidence is something that you always have to work. You
Yes.
program your mind. When I wake up in the morning, I start telling myself like this day is a gift. Every day that I'm living is a gift. I came here to this planet. I'm a visitor here, and it's a gift for me, so when I start realizing that everything is a gift, my mindset changes into full abundance because I see Shai here is my friend. She's a gift for me. You guys there, you're just a gift for me. And then I'm like,
Christmas every day.
and then I'm like in that mindset where it's like, oh, this book is a gift, everything is a gift. I have so many gifts. Like, that mindset opens up your mind.
Oh, Krishna said past experiences, negative self-talk, fear of failure, and external pressure.
Yeah.
All things we've all have faced.
You create a new mind.
Yeah, especially the self-talk.
Yeah.
How you talk to yourself, what I did is I visualized myself speaking to me.
Yeah.
And when you visualize it, you get to see like, why am I talking to myself in such a mean way?
Yeah.
Or visualize someone else talking to you like that. If you have someone you love, someone close to you, like your best friend, do you think they would speak to you in that way?
Yeah. What I do is, because I can't do anything with the mind that's already been trained to be negative. I know there's this part of my mind, it's a program. I just know that it's a negative program. That's okay. That's okay. But I can create a new program. I can create a new program, and I want your focus, because what you focus on is what you create. Don't focus on the fact that it's already there. It's already there. We know that. There's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
What we can do about it is we can focus on a new program. Now start creating new positive thoughts, right? And you can go to YouTube and start doing all these meditations, affirmations. Moment you
Yes.
wake up on your bed like this, the moment like you open your eyes, awake, you start programming your mind.
Yeah.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. You play those cassettes, you repeat them. You keep doing that until the new mind takes over.
Oh, yeah.
You have to create this
Over and
new
over
program. Yeah.
And break up the negative self-talk with positive thoughts. Like I would catch myself in the act of thinking something negative about myself, and I would just stop it and think something positive,
Yeah.
because I know those things aren't true.
Yeah. And like this kind of a thought where you say like society will judge you without knowing the real facts, you don't think like that.
Right.
Don't think like that. Talk to you, tell yourself like society approves of me. I am approved everywhere I go, because when you have that mindset that everybody approves of you, you will start behaving in ways that people approve of, and they'll be opening doors for you.
They'll give you so much confidence.
Yeah, so instead of saying society will judge you without knowing the fact, to say, I am welcome everywhere I go. People
My
open
internal
doors
belief-
for me.
Yes.
You start changing that internal dialogue, and then you start living in a new reality.
Oh my gosh, it's the so truth. About 2 or 3 years ago, 2022, I decided to believe that everyone who ever meets me wants the best for me possible. That everyone wants to give me the best experience and the best things
Yeah.
possible. Like everyone on earth wants to help me and love and support me. And that is pure delusion. Like
You have to be delusional.
pure.
Yes.
But I accepted that, and I